Singapore's middle class is really feeling the heat. Inflation keeps climbing. Housing feels further and further out of reach. Bills are growing faster than our pay, and even childcare, groceries, and kopi peng now feel like premium items. So today, we're breaking down how Singapore's middle class can survive rising costs, and why dividend income is quietly becoming one of the most powerful tools we have. If you've ever wondered, why life's so tight one? Then stay till the end, because this video was made exactly for you. And before we dive in, like this video so more Singaporeans can see it, and subscribe to Wealth for You for more Singapore-focused dividend income strategies. Disclaimer: this video is for education and sharing only, not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before making any investment decisions. Chapter 1. Why the Singapore middle class feels so squeezed. Let's be brutally honest. When we say middle class in Singapore, we mean people who earn a decent salary, pay their bills, take the occasional holiday, and appear comfortable on paper, but are constantly worried beneath the surface. You're not struggling at the basics, yet you're not wealthy enough to feel safe. You stand on your own, but every month feels like a balancing act. Stable, but stretched. That's the reality for many of us today. And the squeeze comes from being stuck in a strange, painful middle ground. Not poor enough to get real subsidies, but not rich enough to absorb shocks. One Redditor captured it perfectly. Not poor enough for help, not rich enough to feel safe. And doesn't that feel a bit too true? Because prices are jumping faster than our salary increments. Utilities, transport, groceries, housing, medical bills for parents, enrichment fees for the kids. It's not one big thing crushing us. It's 1,000 small increases happening at the same time. And the part that hurts the most? Middle-class families are always one unexpected bill away from trouble. That's the Singapore sandwich generation, supporting parents, raising kids, paying mortgages, while still trying to save for a retirement we're not even sure we can afford. We're doing everything right, and yet it still never feels like enough. Chapter 2. The Big Three Pressures. Middle-class Singaporeans can't ignore. Every Singaporean middle-class story starts the same way. You work hard, earn a decent salary, and yet somehow life still feels like a treadmill that keeps speeding up. First pressure: inflation. Your pay goes up 3%. Inflation goes up 4 to 6%. But the things you actually buy, groceries, meals, transport, they jump 20%, sometimes 40%. Every trip to NTUC feels like a mini heart attack. Every hawker meal reminds you that last time cheaper has become a daily phrase. It's not that we're spending recklessly, it's that the numbers simply don't match anymore. Second pressure: housing. The final boss of stress. You scroll through Property Guru just to see, and then immediately close the app to protect your mental health. BTO prices keep rising. Resale flats hit new records every month. Even far-flung OCR condos break 2,000 PSF. Places last time we call Ulu, now call unaffordable. One Redditor said it honestly: home ownership is slipping away for the middle class. And Singaporeans feel this deep in our bones. Because shelter isn't optional. It's the biggest bill of our lives. Third pressure: raising kids and supporting parents. The real sandwich squeeze. Childcare, tuition, enrichment. Every month feels like paying a second mortgage. And that's just for the little ones. On the other end, aging parents, doctor visits, medical scans, supplements, insurance gaps. You love them, you want to give them the best. But the costs add up faster than expected. This is the squeeze nobody talks about loudly, but every middle-class Singaporean feels quietly. You're being pulled from both sides. You're holding your parents' hands while your children hold yours. And in between, you're trying to stay standing. We're the sandwich generation, not by choice, but by reality. Chapter 3. So, how do Singaporeans survive all this? At some point, Every middle-class Singaporean reaches the same quiet realization. We cannot control almost everything that's stressing us out. We cannot control inflation, the price of chai fun, bus rides, kopi peng, all creeping up quietly. We cannot control COE. One announcement, and suddenly a family car costs as much as a two-room HDB flat. We cannot control HDB prices. That's a whole other national sport by itself. And because we can't control these things, many of us end up feeling helpless. Like passengers in a taxi with the meter running faster than we expected. But here's the turning point in the story. The one thing we can control is our ability to build cash flow. Not hope, not luck, not timing the market. Just pure, consistent, dependable cash flow. This is why more middle-class Singaporeans are quietly shifting their mindset. Not how to earn more by working harder, but how to build a second engine that earns while you sleep. Not hustle culture, not side gigs, not burnout, just dividend income. Steady, predictable, built brick by brick. Even Reddit puts it bluntly. Middle-class earners cannot rely on salary alone. You must own assets that pay you. And in Singapore, that idea isn't just theory. It's survival. It's breathing space. It's dignity. Here, our assets don't just grow in value, they pay us. Every month, every quarter. That's why dividend income has become our modern-day survival kit. Because every time DBS, OCBC, Ascendas, CICT, or your ETF drops a payout, you feel something that salary alone cannot give you. A little relief. A little control. A little kopi money that reminds you you're not helpless after all. And sometimes that's all we need to keep going. Chapter 4. Why dividend income helps middle-class Singaporeans survive rising costs. For the Singapore middle class, dividend income is no longer a bonus. It's a lifeline. First, dividends grow when prices grow. When inflation hits, companies raise prices. REITs raise rent. Banks earn more. Most people feel the squeeze. But dividend investors get a small cushion. Because when businesses earn more, your dividends grow too. Instead of fighting inflation helplessly, you finally ride the wave. Second, cash flow that lowers stress immediately. Salary comes once a month. Bills don't. But dividends drop in half yearly or quarterly, and even a small payout changes how you feel. It's an extra engine, a backup, a reminder you're not relying on one paycheck to survive. The stress softens. The month feels less tight. Third, it helps with the everyday burdens we don't talk about. For the sandwich generation, it's the small things that break us. So imagine dividends covering your electricity bill, parents' medical supplements, one enrichment class, weekly groceries, or a part of your mortgage interest. Suddenly the load feels lighter. Suddenly you can breathe. Fourth, it works even if you're busy. No timing the market, no charts. Just buying quality assets and letting them pay you. The Singapore favorites, DBS, OCBC, UOB, CICT, Ascendas, MLT, FCT, YLD, CFA, CLR ETFs. They're not flashy, but they're steady, dependable. Exactly what a squeezed middle-class family needs. Because every payout, no matter how small, says one thing. You're not alone. You're getting stronger. Chapter 5. The 3-Step Singapore Dividend Survival Plan. Surviving rising costs in Singapore doesn't require luck or timing. It just needs a simple, steady plan, one that gives you control again. Step 1. Build your safety buffer. Most middle-class families are walking a tightrope. Like Reddit said, one unexpected bill away from trouble. A medical bill, a car repair, a retrenchment. That's all it takes to derail everything. So the first step is not investing. It's building 3 to 6 months of emergency cash. This is your breathing room, your don't panic money, your shield against life's surprises. Step 2. Build your monthly dividend wheel. Once you're safe, You build stability, not by guessing the best stock, but by building a flow of COPI money that arrives throughout the year. Like this. Banks pay you quarterly. REITs pay you in March and September. Dividend ETFs pay every 6 months or quarterly. Stagger them, and suddenly every month has a little extra cash coming in. Your budget feels calmer, your month feels more manageable, your life feels less tight. Step 3. Automate your way to wealth. And here's the part people always overthink. You don't need to be a market expert. You just automate. DCA into a dividend ETF. Same amount each month. No fear, no FOMO, no timing. You let compound interest do the heavy lifting while you live your life. Simple, predictable, stress-free. Exactly what the Singapore middle class needs right now. Final thoughts. Your COPI money is your survival money. Yes, life in Singapore is getting more expensive. Yes, the middle class is feeling the squeeze. But you're not powerless. Dividend income is your safety net, your inflation shield, your breathing room, your quiet escape from living paycheck to paycheck. This is how Singaporeans survive rising costs, by building income that grows on its own. Slowly, steadily, slowly, steadily, quietly, and in a way that finally feels sustainable. If this gave you clarity or hope, like this video so more Singaporeans can learn how to fight rising costs, and subscribe to Wealth for You for more Singapore dividend investing, CPF strategies, REIT insights, and cash flow planning. Let's build COPI money together. Let's survive inflation together. And let's win together.